Hi, welcome to my video on solving real-life word problems using slope-intercept form. On the previous page just then I said slope-intercept form because in real life there's no what we call y-intercept. So the equation will look like y equals mx plus b, but the y and the x will be other variables. Let's do a couple examples. A can of paint can cover 400 square feet per gallon. Write an equation to represent the relation. Each can of paint contains 1 gallon of paint. So we have an area, A, we're going to use A for area, and we're going to use G for gallons of paint. And the rate, or we can call it the slope for the equation, either or. The rate is 400 square feet per gallon, so it's 400. And notice the rate is a plus because we're covering, adding it to the wall. So we have the equation as area A is 400 square feet and per G for gallon. And we start off with I forgot to say the initial value. When we start off, the initial value is 0 because there's no painting on the walls. So the equation is A equals 400G, where A is area and G is the number of gallons. Number 2, in the same question. How many square feet can 6 gallons of paint cover? Well, the equation that we come up with is A equals 400G. So what we're going to do is sub in, so that means 6. So G is 6. The number of gallons is 6. So we sub 6 for G in the equation, and we multiply. We'll get 4 6s are 24, so we get 2400, and we're doing area, so it's square feet. Remember, once you come up with the equation, you can sub in for G or you can sub in for A. So if you know one variable, you can find the other. Number 3, if 3,600 square feet of walls in the house are painted, how many gallons of paint were used? So again, we have 6, so we have an area which is 3,600 square feet, and we want to find G is the unknown. So the formula is A equals 400G, and we have the 36, so the 3,600 fits underneath the A, and we're trying to solve the equation for G. We can let the equation stay like that, or we can reverse it and go 400G equals 3,600, either or. But if you leave it like this, with the variable there, you can divide each side by 400. So that means G is, zeros cancel, you get 9. If you switch the order and put the variable on the left and the numbers on the right, switching the whole equation, flipping the whole equation around left to right and right to left, you don't have to change the signs. So if you want to write it like that, it still becomes G is equal to 9. So 9 gallons is what's needed to do the 3,600. Let's do B. Or we got A. This is A problem. Now this is the B problem. We have 3 parts. A person 3 kilometers from home walks at a rate of 4 kilometers an hour away from home. So in this problem, we have a distance. You're talking about kilometers. So D is distance. And the distance is in kilometers. Just keep track. And we have a time that we're walking. So T is time. And the time, it says in hours, because it's kilometers per hour. Okay, now that means we have a rate, and the rate is the slope that's going to be used in the line, and the rate is we're walking away from home, so it's 4 kilometers per hour as a plus. And the start out value, or the initial value to start off this problem, is 3 kilometers. So the equation is distance, that's your y, your slope is 4, and you got time, and the initial value is 3. So you're starting off at, notice, an intercept or initial value. If time is 0, you put 0 here, you're at 3 kilometers away from home, and because it's a plus, it means you're walking away. If that was a minus, you'd be walking towards your home. Number 2, after walking for 5 hours, how far away from the home is the person? So we're walking for 5 hours, so that means t is 5. So you write down the equation, t equals 4t plus 3. So we sub in 5 for t, so 5, 4 times 5 plus 3, and we multiply before we add, so that's 20 plus 3. So the person is 23, and 23 is your distance, so it's 23, and we notice it's kilometers. We read up on top that the rate is 4 kilometers per hour. So you're 23 kilometers away from home. Number 3, how long does a person walk if the distance from the home is 31 kilometers? So now we have the distance is 31 kilometers. So the formula is d equals 4t plus 3. So you write down d equals 4t plus 3. D is 31, so 31 goes underneath D and substitute it in, and we're solving it for time. And if you want to move the variable to the left, go ahead. And we move the number 31 to the right to make it a minus. So that makes negative 4t equals a negative 28. And if we go over here and write the equation down, we're dividing both sides by negative 4. That cancels out to give you 1. So we get 7. And it's 7. Again, time is in terms of hours. So 7 hours. So writing down the equation into the intercept form. Again, I talk about the intercept form because in this problem, the intercept is in terms of kilometers. And in this problem, the intercept is in terms of square feet. Now we have some more problems. Practice. Practice means pause the video and you work out the answers to these problems and then play it back to see if you're okay. So as in all videos that I do, I try to do some myself to explain, then I give you some to do to see if you understand. Here we go. Harry earns $30 an hour. Write an equation which represents this relation. So again, let's use wages, W for wages, and we use T for time. So the wages, I'm going to say the wages are in dollars, and the time is in terms of an hour. So what do we have? We have a rate, which is our slope, and he's making $30 per hour. So it's 30 over 1. And the initial value, when you're earning money, the initial value that you start off with is 0. So the equation is wages is W, rate is 30, again plus, notice there's a plus 30 here because you're adding on, you're not working and getting a minus, and time plus 0. So really I didn't need to put the 0 in, so it's W equals 30t. B part, How much does Harry earn after working 40 hours? So T is 40 hours. So W equals 30T, 30 times 40, so it's 1,200. And again, the wages are in terms of dollars. If his earnings are $750, what is the number of hours worked? So this time we're given the wages is $750. So write down the equation. W is 30T, put 750 in place of W. So we're solving it for T. Again, we could leave it like that, or we could flip it around. Really, if you want, making a 30T and moving them around like that and making a minus is the same as leaving them like that. But if I have them moved, so divide, and I'll get T is equal to, the zeros cancel, and that works 25. And it's hours. Okay, let's do another one. A hot air balloon has 300 cubic feet of air in the balloon. More air is added to the balloon at 50 cubic feet per hour. So, based on information, let's see if we can write the equation. So we have V that I'm going to use for volume. And the volume is in cubic feet. Okay. And we have a time, and the time is per hour. So time, T is time, and we keep track of it as an hour. So we have what rate? The rate, again, remind you, the rate is the slope of the line. So the rate is, and we're adding it on, so it's a plus 50 cubic feet per hour. And the initial value that this problem starts off at is that there's 300 square feet that's in the balloon right now. So we have a volume, V. The rate is 50 plus 50 because we're adding it on, times T plus the initial value of 300. So again, V is for volume, T is for time. Rate, and that's the intercept or the initial value. What is the volume after 4.5 hours? So time is 4.5 hours. So V equals 50 T plus 300. So we put 4.5 hours in place of T. And 50 times 4.5 is 225 plus 300. So the after 4.5 hours, you will have 525, and the volume is in terms of cubic feet. So CUFT, cubic feet. When is the volume 700 cubic feet? So the volume is V is 700 cubic feet. So V equals 50T plus 300. That's the equation. So volume is 700. So 700 goes into place of V. And we have to solve the equation for T. So the 50T goes to the left to become a minus. And the 700 goes to the right to become a minus. So we have 50T equals, and that adds up to be a minus 400. And divide by negative 50. So T becomes, that's a 50. Zeros cancel, and I get an 8. And time is in terms of hours, so that's 8 hours. So that's working out some problems. Hopefully everything worked out okay and you understand what they're doing. Derive an equation and filling in for time or filling in for volume, filling in both variables one at a time in each part. We have a few more to do. Number 3, a bank account has $14,400 in it. Funds are withdrawn at a rate of $400 a month. Let's write the equation that represents this relation. So I'm going to call F is for funds, and the funds are in terms of dollars. Well, you say, well, why? Because you could have dollars, you could have cents. I mean, you could have different values for the money. T is for time, and your time is in terms of a month, because you're withdrawing it monthly. And you have a rate, which is the slope of the equation, and the rate is 400, so the rate is a minus 4, because you're taking it out. The initial value that's in the bank account, which is your intercept, is $14,400. So the equation is F is the funds, the slope is negative 400 coming out, T is time, and the initial value that's in the bank account is 14,400. So that's the equation. F is for fund, T is for time, and there's a minus because we're withdrawing it. Okay. Find the amount in the bank in the account after 20 months. So T is 20. So let's write down the equation. F equals negative 400. So we want to find how much is left in the bank account. So we substitute 20 in the place of T. Done. So F is 20 times 400 is 8,000. So F is, that's going to give you $6,400. So after 20 months of withdrawing the money, you'll have $6,400 left in the account. When will the account have no money? So the funds is no money. There's no zeros left in the bank. So F equals negative 400 T. So notice I always write down my equation and then I sub in for T or F. F is 0. 0 goes in the place of F. And you notice I show each step. Negative 400 goes to the left to become positive 400T. And we divide both sides by 400. Cancels. So T becomes 0, 0. So 4 into is a 3. So that takes 36. So 36 months. After 36 months of withdrawing $400 a month, you'll have no money left in the bank. And let's do number 4. Again, don't forget to pause it and work it out. A wedding has a meal for each guest. 40 meals are already done. To prepare more meals, each meal requires 2 minutes to prepare. So let's come up with the equation that represents this relation. So this time I'm going to say N is going to represent the number of meals. And I'm going to say T is time. And the time is in minutes. And we have a slope. Let's put a rate, which is the slope that's going to be in the equation. And it's going to be, takes 2 minutes to prepare a meal. So we want to add on. So it's going to be 1 meal for every 2 minutes. So that's 1 meal for every 2 minutes. Just to keep it clear, make sure everything is okay. And the initial that we start off with here, because we already have 40 dinners done. So we're starting off from 40 and adding on. So we have the number of meals at the end. Okay. And we have the rate is a half, and this for the rate is in terms of, we got a time, and the initial value is 40. So n is the number. We're doing one meal for every 2 minutes, and the time, and we start off at 40. So n equals a half n plus 40. So let's look at B. How many minutes are needed to prepare for a total of 100 guests? So n is 100. We have 100 guests. So n equals 1/2 t plus 40 is the equation. We have 100 guests. So we're trying to find out t. How many minutes will it take it to prepare all of these 100 meals? So we move the half to the left, make it negative. The 100 to the right to make it negative. A half t equals negative 60. And we can multiply both sides by -2. Why -2? Well, the negative times negative is positive, and 2 times a half is 1. We multiply them by the denominator, eliminates the denominator, and the negative times the negative is positive, so 120 minutes. And if we want, how long? Some people will say 120 minutes. Translate into 60 minutes in an hour. So you could say 120 minutes, or you could say 2 hours working, either or. And that brings us to the end of this video. Again, writing out real-life problems in the form of slope-intercept form. If you like my video, click the like button. If you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button. And click the notification bell. If you wish, more videos are coming your way. And if you want to write a comment on my video, go ahead. At my math website is www.mathfullyexplained.com. And there you have 3 sections: me, my degrees and teaching experience. Section on video talks about the strategies you're going to use to help you learn your math. The content section has the units and the number of videos on those units on my YouTube channel. Black font is what's online already. The red font is what will be developed in the near future. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.